Your homework study notes end up looking like some random scribbles where you're trying to figure out exactly what you wrote, what exactly you were trying to say. So, okay, let's fix that with Google Sheets and a smarter study method. One of the best ways to structure your notes is called the Cornell method. Now, here I have the basics of it, which is basically the cue, the notes, and then the summary. So the cue are the questions or keywords, the notes are the main ideas, and then the key takeaways are the summary. Here I have geometry, for example. What is a line? What is an array? What are parallel lines? What is a right angle? Basic stuff you find in geometry. Now, the great thing about using Google Sheets is that you can actually, there's this feature called convert to table. So you highlight the entire table, including the header, and then you right click and you see here it says it's a new feature called convert to table. Now you can go ahead and rename this table as, let's say, geometry study notes. Okay. And then you can go ahead and play around with this feature because it is very convenient. Now, say when it comes to math, you're more of a Notion user. Well, good news, I actually have a Notion Math Master template that you can do. You actually have the ability to log any math vocabulary, and teachers can guide students through math sprints and solve problems. So, but in this one, you have the blank Cornell Notes templates where you have the topic. It's a bit more extensive than what I put on the Google Sheets. And you have the questions, summary, notes, class date, and then it goes into a whole different level of the math log. Here you have a list of terms with derivative, polynomial. These are just blanks you can put in here. It's great for any level of math. And then you can play around with it. So this is a slightly more advanced version of what we have on Google Sheets. Now, whether you're using Google Sheets or Notion, the key idea is the same. You have to structure your notes so that you're not just copying information, but you're reviewing and summarizing it in a way that sticks. So now if you want to take it to an even higher level, you don't have to build these layouts by hand. I've also created a Cornell Notes Generator that'll help you to build a structure, add questions, summaries, and even creates flashcards. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, here is my Cornell Notes Generator. Here I have the topic. I just put as my geometry notes. And then I put in the cues, the notes, and the summary that I created from the sheet, from the Google Sheet. Now, once we have this in here, we actually now have the ability to create flashcards. So here you see I've got cards 1 through 5. Of course, the more cards you put in, the more cues you put in, the more cards you'll have. So what we got here is I'm going to show the answer. And then it's going to go ahead to the next one. What is a line? Show the answer. All of this is done with the power of AI. It basically takes all the information that you give it, augments it, and puts it in flashcards. You can go ahead and export this into a TXT, a CSV, a Quizlet if you have an account on Quizlet, or you can just do a straight PDF, however you want to do it. But these flashcards are one of the ways to help you really retain all the information and move beyond just using a simple spreadsheet to keep your notes active. This is another step. So this, in combination with a Notions template for mathematics, or one of my other templates that I have for science and for history, along with the Cornell Notes Generator, means that you have a much better chance of retaining information from your notes and doing better on your exams and in class in general.